My name is Angie Zapata, and I am a tattoo artist. I'm also the owner of Uptown Tattoo. I also do oil painting, clay work, and I'm originally from Mexico, but I grew up here in Phoenix. I have a really interesting creative process. I used to do when I was a kid, and even now, I used to do like a dream training where I would like try to train my brain to have lucid dreaming. And I accomplished that. So now what I do is sometimes I'll like insert an idea. Like I'll have the idea I need to design a Chingona Soles and it needs to be out of this world. So within my dreams, I'll get that idea. And when it comes, I'll start working on it. Usually with any of my art, I do like to invoke a feeling of, I guess, like a little bit of shock and surprise to show something that maybe someone wouldn't have thought about or would have made it really cute. I kind of like people to feel a little bit like shocked when they see it. Not necessarily in a bad way. I feel like sometimes it's shocked, but then like, oh, that's actually kind of cool, you know? So I really like surprising people and seeing their response to that. And I like that it's not always like, oh, that's so cute. Like I like that they're like, ooh, sometimes kind of feel like put off by it. I kind of like that feeling. I like seeing that. My piece from like last year, for example, had horns and like teeth, and it was supposed to be kind of like a demon or an Oni mask type of looking thing. So I would see people's reactions like it was different than the others, and I really enjoyed that. I would say my biggest challenge as an artist, just in general, has been maybe my own voice of I'm a little weird, I'm a little different. You know, I have ADHD and I didn't know until a year ago. So, you know, there's always like little quirks and like little differences that I felt were really obvious. And so I didn't really connect with a lot of artists right off the bat. So it took me a while to kind of get comfortable in my own skin, in my own mind, and in my own art. And often I would see people react in a negative way to my art. So it always made me feel like, oh, it's too much. I have to tone it down. I have to tone it down. Until I was like, you know what, who cares? I'm not gonna tone it down. And that's been more of a recent thing. But I did struggle with, I guess, my own identity and my own voice. And now I don't. I feel like Chingona Soles did help me a little bit on that end as well. I feel like a great way that I honor culture in my artwork is I mostly just do my own culture. That's one, because that's all I know really. So being Hispanic from Mexico, I love doing like Day of the Dead stuff or skulls and maybe even like zombies. I don't know if that's really part of our culture, but I feel like it fits with the skulls. And colorful flowers, stuff like that. But like last year I did an Oni inspired stiletto. So I felt okay with honoring and doing that because I am also a tattoo artist, and there's a lot of research and studying that you have to do when you do images from other cultures. And I felt like I was being respectful enough to bring that forward into a stiletto. And I don't feel like I was like appropriating someone else's culture. I mixed it with my own views as well, and I try to obviously be respectful in every way. I feel like my artwork identifies with the identity of Chingonas through basically what I do is just being a female Latina artist who is typically more quiet and reserved, but can express my voice and my feelings through the art. And I think Chingonas, like the Chingona Soles culture, has been created for people like that to be able to voice themselves, you know? And I think that's why it meshes really well. How does Chingona Soles affect our community? I've been an artist my whole life. I've been tattooing since I was 19. I've been doing art and art events since, I don't know, the whole time I've been tattooing. And my parents had never gone to any of my shows. And I didn't know why. But they did come to the Chingona Soles that I was at last year. And then since then I had a solo art show at this gallery as well. And they also came to it. And that's when I found out the reason they weren't going to my other shows is because they didn't want to embarrass me. They thought I was gonna be embarrassed by my Hispanic parents coming straight from work, maybe dirty clothes or whatever, and me being embarrassed by that. And I would have never been embarrassed by it at all, but they thought that. But for some reason, like the vibes and the environment that Chingona Soles and Luna Culture Lab create, they felt comfortable coming. And they've been here multiple times now. It's funny, like the word Chingona in my household was actually like a bad word, if you will. So when the Chingona Soles came about, I kind of was a little off put by the word. But I think as I start to see more like the term Chingona go around town in our community, I really got to understand more that it's just meant to be, we're strong women, we're go-getters, we're entrepreneurs, are not gonna back down, we're gonna speak our voices and be loud with ourselves. That really helps me be able to show myself in my true vision in this art community now. Before I didn't feel like that. So I feel like the word Chingona really it's like an umbrella for what we are as artists, as female artists. I love that word now. It's not a bad word anymore. As the project of Chingona Soles grows, I definitely want to be involved. For this year, I'm in the artist committee, and I would love to be in the behind the scenes too. Part of what I do in my shop is I also highlight other artists, other local artists. So I love the artist to artist support, and that's exactly what Chingona Soles is. So I definitely want to be an artist making the soles and behind the scenes, maybe finding other artists, especially artists that maybe haven't been so vocal with their artwork, that need a little bit more exposure and a little push. So I definitely want to grow with Chingona Soles. For Tanya and everyone that works in Taurus Multicultural, Luna Culture Lab, Chingona Soles, all of them, I want to say thank you, because they've all been super supportive, very nice, very encouraging. And thank you to the community that comes together and comes to these shows and just shows up and has fun. Thank you to everyone.